The national curriculum states that the core of computing is computer science, in which pupils are taught the principles of information and computation, how digital systems work, and how to put this knowledge to use through programming. Building on this knowledge and understanding, pupils are equipped to use information technologies to create programs, systems, and a range of content. Computing also ensures that pupils become digitally literate, able to use and express themselves and develop their ideas through information and communication technology at a level suitable for the future workplace and as active participants in a digital world. Based on the statement we just read from the national curriculum, at Mayville Primary School, our intent is this. We want to develop pupils' appreciation of technology and the opportunities it offers to create, manage, organize, and collaborate. We want to develop pupils' confidence when encountering new technology. We want our pupils to be digitally competent and to have a range of transferable skills at a suitable level for the future workplace. And last but not least, we want our pupils to be responsible online citizens. How does our scheme of work align with the national curriculum? If we analyse and break down the computing objectives from the national curriculum, we can identify three broad strands: computer science, information technology, and digital literacy. In our scheme, the three broad strands have been subdivided into 5 areas: computer systems and networks, programming, creating media, data handling, and online safety. And then we have a skills showcase where the students are expected to showcase the skills that they've gained from all of the 5 areas. So let's look at the 5 areas and try and get an understanding of what they're about. We have computing systems and networks, which is about identifying hardware and using software while exploring how computers communicate and connect to one another. We have programming, which is about understanding that a computer operates on algorithms and learning how to write, adapt, and debug code to instruct a computer to perform a set of tasks. We have creating media, which is about learning how to use various devices, record, capture, and edit content, such as videos, music, pictures, and photographs. We have data handling, which is about ensuring that information is collected, recorded, stored, presented, and analysed in a manner that is useful and can help to solve problems. And then last but not least, we have online safety, which is about understanding the benefits and risks of being online and how to remain safe, keeping personal information secure, and recognising when to seek help in difficult situations. Now, all of the lessons that we'll deliver have been categorised into these 5 areas, and we will return to each area in every year group so that there is a progression of skills and knowledge. Our computing scheme is a spiral curriculum with the following 3 principles in mind. It is cyclical, which means that pupils revisit the 5 key areas throughout Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2. And each time a key area is revisited, it is covered with greater complexity. And upon returning to each key area, prior knowledge is utilised so pupils can build on previous foundations rather than starting again. As you can see from our long-term plan, the 5 key areas are revisited in every year group. So there is a clear progression of skills and knowledge. The scheme of learning that we're following has been adopted from a resource provider called Kapow, which provides the lesson plans, video tutorials, worksheets, and absolutely everything that you need to deliver computing. I will now show you how to access the resources online. After logging in, click on Computing and then click on your relevant key stage. So I will use upper key stage as an example. And then when you scroll down, you will see that you have all of the lessons there for year 5 and all of the lessons here for year 6. Now you'll notice that the lessons have been grouped. Each group of lessons represents a term. So this is Autumn 1, Autumn 2, Spring 1, Spring 2, Summer 1, Summer 2. You'll also notice that for some terms you have an option. either to choose Microsoft Office or Google Computing. As we are using Chromebooks in our school, always select Google Computing. Let's have a look at Spring 1. We click on View Lessons, and then you'll see that you have all of the lessons there for the entire term. Lesson 1 being Week 1, Week 2, Week 3, and so forth. You'll also find that you have some assessment material here that you can use at the end of the term to assess your pupils' understanding. And the assessment material usually comes in the form of a quiz or a test. When you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you will see that there is a knowledge organizer document. If you click on the document, you will see that this contains the key facts and the key words. This document should be shared with students at the beginning of every term. It should be printed for every single student, and it should also be uploaded onto Google Classroom for the children to access at their convenience. Let's have a look at an example of a lesson. So if you click on a lesson, when you click on a lesson, you'll typically find a video tutorial to brush up on your subject knowledge, all of the resources that you need that you can easily download through a click of a button, the learning objective, links to the national curriculum, the success criteria, cross-curricular links, an attention grabber, in other words, a pedagogical hook. And you'll also find your main keynote presentation, which is in the form of Google Slides, as you can see here. And then if you scroll down, you'll see that we have an entire lesson plan here where everything has been explained. There we also have an extension activity, key questions to ask within the lesson, differentiation, a plenary, and it also explains how to assess a pupil's understanding during the lesson. And we also have key vocabulary here. So as you can see, you have absolutely everything that you need to deliver the lesson. As most of the children's work will be done online digitally on a Chromebook, it makes sense for children's work to be saved online on Google Drive as opposed to having work in exercise books. I'm now going to show you how to instruct pupils to create a computing folder on their Google Drive and save all of their work there. This is really important because we want our pupils to be digitally organized and to take ownership of their own learning. After a child has logged on to Google Classroom, they need to click on this icon on the top right hand corner and then click on Google Drive. Once they are in Google Drive, they can now create a folder by clicking on this plus icon here where it says New, and then create folder. It's best if they name the folder by their first name and then computing. And you'll see that the folder will immediately appear here. After creating the folder, they need to right click on the folder and then share the folder with their class teacher. And that's it. The child can now save all of their computing work in this folder, and now the teacher also has access to this folder. As I mentioned earlier, there are assessment resources for you to assess children's understanding at the end of every term after all of the lessons have been delivered. So let's have a look at some of these assessment resources. You click on assessment. After you click on the assessment resources, you will find a quiz presentation that can be done as a whole class, and you'll have two assessment worksheets at the bottom. One is a multiple choice quiz sheet, and the other is a knowledge catcher worksheet which asks more open-ended questions that go more in depth. In my opinion, both of these assessments should be administered to give you a more holistic understanding of the child's learning. So what will be the impact of our computing curriculum? Well, hopefully our pupils will have an appreciation of technology and the opportunities it offers to create, manage, organize and collaborate. Our pupils will be confident when they encounter new technology. Our pupils will be digitally competent and will have a range of transferable skills at a suitable level for the future workplace. And our pupils will be responsible online citizens.